Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vaping with the Ohmies.
Welcome everybody, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to some dudes in case you don't know. First we got Aziz all the way from Kuwait. Always got a point when it's time for debate. Oh my Lanta, some call him Dan. Got the dad jokes in the palm of his hand. Boom Sauce McNasty got his eyes on the news. Got his ear to the streets and he's down for the crew. Next up is Clown, the DIY king. Got a juice line and some coils that sing. Then there's a bear who's smarter than average. Quick with a wit, his name Vapor Swaggins. Then there's the homie, we know him as Frames. And too many guests to remember the names. Together they make up this killer vape panel. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vaping with the Ohmies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. What's in the news, Poon Sauce? Alright guys, it's that time for Dan's dad joke of the week.
What is going on, Ohmies? Welcome back for episode 21 of Vaping with the Ohmies. Of course, as you can see right down below me, we got a special guest joining us tonight. We got Terk in the house. Thank you, dude, for joining us, bro. Super stoked to have you on, man.
Yep. You're
all of a sudden, we lost your audio there.
fine.
Oh, there you go.
There it
Now
is.
we're good.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go ahead and run through what we're vaping on as we normally do, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Swags, because he hasn't been here in a while, and I'm really stoked to see what you're vaping on, bro.
Oh, great. Well, isn't that fantastic? Right after I told you I needed to change these wicks out. So what's going on, everybody? It's been a while, but I'm glad to be here tonight, especially honored by the presence of Terk himself. A hero to all of us, and it's great to see him out there advocating. And it's unfortunate that things look so dark, but we're out there and we're making marks and we're making moves and we are making noise, and that's what matters, really. At this point, that's what matters. So, anyways, I'm not actually Aziz, and Aziz isn't me, even though for some reason sometimes I'm on and he's not on, and then he's on and I'm not on. We can talk about that later. Sorry, I'm taking up too much time, but that's just because I only have two setups tonight. And the first one is my Dragon Mod 2.5 with the Terk V2 and juiced, so I can use it whenever I want. And the wicks collapsed, so I can't vape it right this second, but I'm going to. And secondly, I've got the Elf Thunder 2700 with the Cosmonaut on top with a nice DHD tip. This one's got one too, the other one. DHD chop tops. We know this already. I don't even need to say it. And inside of both of those, I have Tango Melon by Transistor, believe it or not. And that's me. And I'll pass it to Clown.
Hello. Alrighty. I guess I will start with this guy. It's the Straight M0 K-Fun Light 2019. In that, I got some of my own fruit basket, 9 milligram. Very awesome stuff. As Aziz jumps in, you just said he wasn't going to be here.
I said we're not the same person.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'll take that. Then let's see, Goon 1.5 with TVL Colt 45. Been a while since I've used this guy, but just brought it out. And that I got banana cream cookie from Overdripped. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Take it away, Pooney.
Okay, I got a couple new things. This one's not so new, but the marathon's new. I got the Blotto on top of the Skelly 213. Inside of there, I got some Guerrilla Warfare, their .27 Strawberry Edition. And then I got a new from Mr. Dan O'Mylanta. I got the Viking mod with the Haku Phenom on top. And inside of there, I got some Silverback Lola. And then finally, I got another new. Well, the topper's new. I got my Black Dreamer with the Ohana on top, which is rocking. And inside of there, I got some Hometown Hero Just Strawberry Punch. And that's it for me. Take it away, Dan.
Ooh, hey, what's going on, guys? First of all, Friday, went down to Vapors and hung out with Anthony Ramella. Awesome dude. His employees are awesome. I walked in the door, and when people were buying stuff, they had like the petition opened, had people signing the petition, letting everyone know what's going on across the country. His workers are well informative. If anyone's in the Ohio, Toledo area and is looking for a good shop to go to, please go to Vapors. It's really good. Just check it out. And I got this sweet hoodie. I vape, I vote. So shout out to Anthony and everyone at Vapors. I have my gear on top of the Aegis Solo, my everyday worker beater mod with some Vapors e-liquid. This is Blue Bling, kind of like a blue raspberry candy. Very delicious. I have my 1 Gen M with the Jenna on top. And that I have that duo raspberry and peach from Burst. That stuff's awesome. And then my little mouth along the K-Fun Prime on the little foot with some other Burst salt collection, Slammin' Peach Ice, peach menthol mint. It's awesome. I'll pass it over to Aziz.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry for being tardy.
It's all right, buddy.
I literally just woke up. And
Understandable.
first, yeah, dude, it's 3 a.m. here.
Yep.
First of all, this is my ride or die. This is my end game. Topside duel, pulse 2, and of course, search satisfying. Yes, I know, boring, but this is what
Why
works.
don't you talk about your shoes?
Dude, that's a whole different story, bro. We could do a whole
We'll
show
need a whole
on
other
that.
show for that.
Well, we'll be running long tonight, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen,
hey, hey.
because we have to talk about shoes.
The Z
And-
Shoe Corner.
Miley, Cubano, and that's it.
Keeping it
Who
simple.
has
Go to Terk. Go to Terk.
Okay, Mr. M Turk. I'll pass it to you.
I'm not running nothing like too crazy. I mean, I got different juices that I don't normally run, but I got my this little guy that I picked up when I was well, actually, I didn't get this one in Spain. This one was sent to me. This is the limited edition Hyperion from Infinite Mods. It's like confetti kind of. I don't know.
That's
it's
slick.
dope.
It's a different kind of sleeve, and then I got the DHD chop top with the confetti in it as well.
Perfect. Yeah, that
When that matches it perfect. So I was like, sweet. So I'm running this right now, and I got a mix between Philip Rock Creme de la Creme, which I'm sure a lot of people know. This is an older juice, but I found this in one of the shops over my last travels over the last couple of days. They just had a couple of them still sitting on the shelf. And then I also got, I don't know if any of you guys remember Vapaholics.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, dude.
I think it was a California company, but Butterscotch Foo was basically the first juice that got me so hooked on butterscotch. Like, that's why I can't get away from it, is because of that juice. Now that I've been vaping for the last couple of days, I'm like, man, this shit's like super, super sweet. But it's reminding me of like, back in the day when I first started with flavors, and they had this on the shelf too. And I think it was expired a year ago, but still
Yeah, look how steep that is, man.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking.
still really good. But, yeah, that's what I'm running right now. I don't have anything else. That's it. I only run one mod a day.
Is there anybody else left? Is that everybody?
No.
Oh,
James,
just-
it's on you, brother.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep it simple, guys. I'm gonna just rock with 2 setups. I got the LE grip with the Terk V2 on top. Got the copper rose DHG chop top on top of that. Inside of that have some 12 monkeys, manga bees. Dude, this stuff is delicious. It's like mango, papaya, guava, I believe. Super good stuff. Really love that one. Also got the Plague Doctor from Death Wish with the Unholy V2. Actually, this has got the Copper Rose. The other one had the Blood Moon chop top on top of that. And inside of this, one of my all days, Fountain Blast Off. It's like a Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Love that stuff. And I do have the Notion with the Reload MTL RTA with some 12 milligram Dragon Shake from Deep Cuts inside of that. And that's pretty much it for me. So, of course, before we send it over to Corey, what I want to do is shout out our amazing sponsors real quick. I'm going to actually hit you with the bumpers one time. Big shout out to OPMH Project for, holding it down with Watson, the Fountain, and, of course, the Real Deal Custard. If you guys haven't checked them out, make sure you guys go check them out. Support them because they support us. Big shout outs to them. Of course, shout outs to Independent Vapor Company as well, IVC over there in Michigan. If you guys can get a chance, go over there, make some orders, try to, help them get rid of some of their stock. They only have a few more days left. So if you guys can give them a hand, that'd be awesome. And much love to them over there. And then, of course, we're going to shoot it on over to, oops, wrong one. Boop. Wrong bumper. I'm going to shoot it on over to Corey for what's in the news, Poon Sauce.
Okay, so today Illinois kind of had their little vaping crisis meeting in Chicago. So it kind of there were both things that I liked about it. There were some things that I liked, and there were some things that I terribly disliked. So I kind of want to mention a couple of those things real quick before I go on to the question that I had for the rest of the panel. Okay, so there was a lot of good things that happened. There were lots of people. There was somebody from the VTA there, which really helped explain things from the industry side of things. And then there were a lot of shop owners who were like an older shop. There was an 80-year-old woman who spoke, and that was awesome to see. And she was saying how like flavor saved her life and everything. But there's a couple things that I didn't like. First of all, I know this is going to sound absurd, but we had a county official from one of our counties up here in Illinois, from Lake County, and supposedly vaping is one of the causes for the opioid epidemic, everybody. So that's
excuse me? Can you say that again for everyone one more time?
Vaping is one of the causes of the opioid epidemic.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'd like to see the science on that.
I was just going to say the same
I heard
thing.
somebody's penis fell off from vaping.
So that's
news.
Let that sink in, get angry really quick. Also, there was a lady there. I think she was from the campaign from Tobacco Free Kids. She brought in something I haven't seen in like 5 to 6 years. Remember those hoodies back in the day where they used to have where you can vape out of it, where you never see them anymore? She brought one of those, and I'm like, how deep did she have to go to find one of those? Because I haven't seen one of those around in years.
Still, like, I wanna counter argue this. Like, oh, let me show you the ridiculous stuff that you've come out with. All right, what do you expect us to do in an industry that is basically relying on China to pump out all of our products, and China doesn't have any regulation with the same regard to our regulation, but on top of that, there's no regulation. There's nothing. There's an imaginary book that says, oh, you can't do a hoodie with a vape built into it. There's nothing on the books. They expected us to self-regulate. Well, I on Twitter, sorry to go off, but on Twitter, I was reading about how, an article from Juul and from the FDA and from someone that was upset. It's just like they're spouting off about this shit. And in reality, if the FDA wants to complain, they had the chance to regulate this 2 years ago before Juul took off, but they didn't. They didn't help us regulate closed systems. They didn't. And it's their fault. Let's be honest. It's the FDA's fault. They dropped the ball. It's their fault. All these deaths are on their hands, and the deaths of all the people that they're going to remove from the ability to choose vaping over smoking as an alternative, they're going to be unwell as well. Yeah, that's on the FDA's conscience, not mine.
I have to agree with you. China doesn't know better.
No, they're going to pump out whatever they want to pump out.
Dude, who remembers when they came out? It was like a brief moment. They came out with the Minions RDTA.
Yeah, I remember.
They
that.
had
that was,
they
that was
had
a year or two
literally
ago.
a
Wait, the
Minions
dolphin
RGT.
pod system that like
We're like when that one that shaped like a football.
We got one called the Panda. I think
Yeah.
it Aspire did that. If I'm
But-
Yeah.
wrong, I
let's
don't
be
know.
honest though.
They
We're
had-
only there's only an issue with it because we've had to make an issue. We've talked about this before. You know, Star Wars theme, like if you had a stormtrooper door on your it's IP theft, whatever, like that's a whole other argument too. But we're adults. There are adult minion costumes. Okay. You're gonna tell me if I wear an adult minion costume to an adult party where I'm getting hammered and I take pictures that I'm brand marketing for children to get hammered at parties because I'm dressed like a child, like a cartoon character. Like there are counter arguments that are logic. This is why this is behind me because I want to keep it in, but I took last week off from shows and now I'm just like, shut me up. Go ahead.
Okay, so my real question I had for everybody on the panel and in chat right now, I didn't want to say I came to a realization, but it kind of, I want to say, fueled the fire that I had with it. So one thing I got from this Illinois hearing is it bugs me because obviously we all know that Twitter and social media has been going crazy lately with studies and people telling their stories, and it's fantastic. I love seeing it on Twitter. I love seeing what people are doing on Instagram, Facebook, everything. It is awesome, but there's one thing that I feel like should be brought out as much as all the rest of the stuff out there. If we can create like a medium to where we involve this as well, because to me, the people be standing behind the desks, there's one thing that they acted like they knew so much about, but they really didn't. That they thought they knew what nicotine was itself. All the studies they thought they knew about nicotine, and it was so absurd because they have this embedded into their mind to where nicotine is one of the most addictive things you could ever have in your life. Like they were saying it's up there with like heroin and all that stuff, and they were going so deep into saying nicotine is one of the most addictive things in the world. It's literally like they're saying nicotine's the devil. They were going that hard about it, and so that gave me a realization that we need to start spreading around as much as we're spreading around with all the studies and telling our stories. Because there's studies out there.
So pretty much what you're asking then, Corey, is like what do you think we can do as a community or as an industry to start spreading the actual knowledge of nicotine itself compared to what knowledge is out there? And I think this is something that we kind of touched on a little bit beforehand. And Swaggins is actually someone who's kind of done something similar to this. And I think Terk, you've done something kind of like this as well. Is taking like bigger, videos that actually have people like talking about the actual facts and the statistics behind it, or like showing the proof behind it, and kind of making it a little bit smaller by cutting it down and keeping those key points, but just making it easier to digest and easier to share around on these media platforms, like whether it be Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. Like I believe, Terk, you're someone I've seen that was doing a little bit of like that. So I kind of want to toss this to you and see like what your thoughts are on this. And then Swags, I want to hear your opinion as well.
Yeah. If somebody could send me a good study on I heard somebody was saying before how nicotine actually could have a positive effect on your brain for different types of ailments for when you get older and stuff like that. So if somebody could send me a good study like that, or I haven't had much time lately, so more so if somebody sends me something like a video clip that's got a lot of good key points in it, I'll cut and chop it down so that it'll fit on Instagram and on Twitter and YouTube. We can even put a longer one out that you can link everybody. Everybody can link it even from Twitter. I believe you can do that. And we
got
can
it
just
right here for you,
basically for each platform. Yeah, we could do that for sure.
I mean, do you guys have any other ideas of where we can spread the word about nicotine? I know there's that movie. You don't know.
I do.
Yeah,
I was going to touch on that, Corey. Like, I put it in Grimstream when they were talking about stuff last vlog. I was like, if only there was a movie or a documentary out there about nicotine, which we all know that they are making one. Does anyone know when that's supposed to be out? Because God, I wish it came out tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, dude, can we get a hold of Biebert and just be like, bro, what's the time frame? Like, let's get this shit out like within a week, please. We need it.
Dude, he's doing a movie. That shit takes time.
It's a documentary. on
I know. I just hope it's not to the point now where by the time it's ready for release and all that stuff, then it's already too late.
We've all learned that Twitter is the place to be to get info out. We've had flavor ban, hashtag flavor ban trending. We've had we vape, we vote trending. We need more soldiers on Twitter. Okay. It's really what we need. Every vapor you talk to, like, dude, are you on Twitter? We need you over there. You get those 13 million people that are vaping to tweet every day about this shit, and it will not go away. That's all I got. I mean, there's other things we can do, but this is a start we can do from the comfort of our own homes and interacting with people out in the world.
This is something you can even do. This is kind of a thought as well. Like if you're writing emails to your representatives and stuff like that, you can even leave these links to these studies in your email as references. Like, hey, so here's my story. You know what I mean? You can even like kind of reference those things and be like, hey, if you're even interested to find more information, I do have some links down here below if you want to click them and find. You know what I mean? That way it's there for them. And if they have the, itch, they'll click it. You know what I mean? And if they read far enough, they might start to think differently. You know what I mean? So that's another way you could possibly do it.
And also there are organizations that have pamphlet letters. You can literally change a couple of words and it'll be yours.
Yeah, paraphrase.
You can just save it on your note on your phone or on the notes app on your computer, and you can just send a letter a day.
Absolutely.
You don't have to do everything, but you have to do something.
Yeah, so basically it doesn't take much. You can retweet something. It might be even easier for you to do that. It's not hard to learn how to Twitter. If you're on YouTube, if you're savvy, no matter like what age you are, you can reach out to somebody in the community, one of us if you want, and ask questions. But get on Twitter. You just need an email. Get on there, and all you got to do is follow a few people. Grim Green's on there. M-Turk's on there. We're all on there. You see what we have tweeted. I implore you to read the articles that we're tweeting. I mean, agree or disagree with what we're saying. Especially if you agree, read it. But outside of that, all you got to do is hit the retweet button, and then you're sharing. You're basically on the forum, and you are out there commenting and sharing posts for us with the right information. For instance, this study that you were mentioning, Mike, is the NCBI study. The U.S. National Library of Medicine has a study from 1991, which has been there have been added additions and reviews, but it talks about there are cited in public medical articles. There are cited statements from this study along the lines of, let's say this, for instance, I don't know what the amyloid beta protein, but it's referring to a protein found in nicotine.
Yeah.
So the amyloid beta protein assembly is therapeutic, is a therapeutic target of Alzheimer's disease. That's huge. My Nana passed away from Alzheimer's. It's awful. It's a degenerative disease. It's the worst way to go. In my opinion, you lose your mind. You want to lose your mind, or would you, if there was something out there that said that it could be a therapy to you to help you maintain your sanity, your ability to hold on to memories and loved ones, nicotine could be that thing. You would be outraged if you found out that it was canceled because of its cancer qualities. That's been debunked as well. Nicotine outside of tobacco does not have the
biomarkers, right?
Biomarkers and the indicators to cause cancer. I'm sorry, but that's a fact. Yeah. And we know this here, but we're spouting this information off so you can understand it and let it resonate with you. I hope it does.
Absolutely. So, with all that being said, Corey, that was a good topic, and hopefully some of you guys maybe can kind of take some of those ideas and run with them. I know I might start doing that with some of those emails that I've been sending out, maybe grabbing some of these links up and dropping those in there as well. So yeah, great topic, Corey. Glad you brought that up. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to actually kind of turn it over and talk to Terk here a bit about what's going on out there in New Jersey. There's a hearing going on tomorrow, which of course I'm sure you'll be attending. So why don't you kind of like tell people what your initial plan is, like just showing up like at the beginning before the hearing starts? Is there like anything you kind of have planned to do before to like kind of come together as like a community, or like what's your plan?
Well, Chloe's got a whole bunch of signs we're bringing out. Picking up a couple people that are around the way from where I'm at to bring out. Grabbing one of my family's got a 3-row truck, so I'm going to fill the whole truck up with people and head out there. And I'm going to try to go in the morning time, maybe go to Staples to print out the, I've smoked for so many years and I quit using such and such flavor, and possibly have people just write their name and age on them, maybe just leave them there at the hearing. They can also just be extra signs that people can hold up when the press is out there. But everybody is going to be going early. The meeting, I believe, is from 4 to 7, but there's going to be a press conference, I think, outside at 3 o'clock. So a lot of people are going to try to be out there by like at least 2. So I'm shooting to be out there around that time. But we're registered to speak, both me and Chloe. Chloe's been working on her speech all day. I've been working on my little speech all day. And hopefully we're going to have the courage to speak, because neither one of us are really public speakers. But hopefully it works out. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. There's supposed to be a lot of people showing up. I've been driving around the shops for the last couple of days, trying to rally up all the people that are local by me. The good thing about Jersey is all the shops are so close by, so you can hit so many shops just doing a little loop. Even in all these other states out there, if people are in other states, and that was a big thing. Like when I started going to shops, like none of these shops knew about this stuff taking place, because we're all on Instagram, so we're staying current with how quickly this stuff is popping up. So if you see something taking place in your state and you have time to drive around to all the shops that are local in your area, you should do the exact same thing. It doesn't take much money to print out, printed out like maybe 50 pages of each documentation I have with the date and time and all that stuff on there, and you just leave it in the shop and let these people know what's taking place. And a lot of them are all coming out. They're all closing their doors and grabbing their whatever customers that will come, as well as their employees, and they're all going to get out to the hearing. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot of people there tomorrow.
That's awesome, man. I like that, the fact that you and Chloe kind of taking upon yourself to make up like a bunch of signs and like bring them there, so everybody kind of has a little something to hold up for the press to kind of just show that many people are there to show the support of vaping compared to the support of the ban. And dude, the I quit smoking by vaping sign I think is a great idea as well. Just kind of like leaving that stack there on the desk, like as you guys leave, just showing you that that's how many people, and then they could flip through it and see how many different flavors people have used from however different the age range may be. I think that's a great idea.
Like it sucks they might like just recycle it, but if you sit there and hand them a ream of paper with everyone's flavor that helped them quit smoking, that's a statement that they have to look at. So it's not something an email they just auto send a message to you like, thank you for your concern, but stuff like that. Like it's physically there so that they go,
the only thing
damn, maybe I'm hoping like, so for New Jersey, what's on the table? I've heard like,
I was gonna say, I'm almost like, I'm kind of nervous because like the flavor, like what flavor we quit with is great and everything, but they're trying to totally ban everything. So it's not just about flavors in New Jersey. It's about coils. It's about hardware.
It's vaping in general.
Batteries. It's every single thing. Batteries included. Like, and they're also assembling a task force basically to come after people, and they plan to prosecute the consumers just as well as the retailers, whereas New York is only supposed to be coming after the retailers, as far as I heard in the room that day. So it's they're taking it a step further here in Jersey. I mean, they always do. They're always a little bit out of control with shit sometimes, but it's crazy how they're moving along with this, trying to ban the whole thing. And the other weird part about it too is like we're the only other state that's coming up with a total vape ban like that. And what other country just had that happen? And it happened over in India, where our governor is currently at right now. He's not even going to be attending the health meeting. So it's just kind of weird how that country totally ban everything, and they're going to be prosecuting the people, and then all of a sudden here in New Jersey they're doing the exact same thing, or trying to at least.
Dude, I thought America is a democracy, not a dictatorship. Because this is exactly a dictatorship.
It becomes a dictatorship when they're using the children as to their advantage, in a sense. I mean, everybody's going to care about the well-being of the future of the children and the youth, because that's the future of the country, obviously, and that's what they're using as their ammunition or leverage, if you want to call it, to be able to cause these bans to take place in the first place under emergency, call like this, or executive order, as they call it. They're acting like dictators, like you're saying.
They're hiding behind children.
Dude, I haven't seen them.
It doesn't seem like a democracy, Aziz, because we're not on the right side of the narrative. If we were on the right side of the narrative and the decision was being made and we were like, yeah, totally, rock on, then we would be like, this is great. I'm glad the government's working for me.
Dude, but Swaggins, Alcohol have done worse things.
Yeah, we know this. We know that more than
Cigarettes
more so,
have done worse things.
we know all these things. We know all these factors.
Yeah, what it all boils down to is alcohol already had its prohibition, and there's rules set for that, and everyone's getting their cut of the money, so they really don't care. Like, our regulations are good enough. Who cares who cares if teenagers are, 35% of them are binge drinking and stuff. We got our money. We'll put something out. So, here's a hotline where if you feel like drinking, you can call here if you're a teenager and stuff like that. And then they don't give a shit.
I have a article up when I was searching for that nicotine study from the Scientific American from 2015. And it's talking about vaping and whether it's safe or not. Actually, the title is Smoke Screen, Are E-Cigarettes Safe? This is from May 1st, 2014. And they're talking about the context, or how it relates, is they're talking about the FDA trying to regulate it as a drug delivery source, right? And how they couldn't do that. Enjoy actually sued them. Is that the name of the company? Yeah, Enjoy sued them. And then this is in 2010. I mean, and then like they didn't, and then or in 2010 they tried to regulate it as a tobacco product, and then it went into appeals court, and they said that it didn't have any standing because they couldn't regulate it as that, because they saw it as a recreational benefit of a regular cigarette. So we're talking about, we're in the infancy of an industry here, and we blew up so quickly, and we've affected change on some serious money players that have been around for a very long time. In a very short time, we've done this. And so that's why we're seeing this smear campaign. That's why we're seeing them literally take out all the shots. Emergency orders, or emergency action, like Terk's talking about. I mean, that's insane. That's insane for vaping. All right. We're not talking about like an outbreak of a virus or something like from a movie where they have to close down a city. We're talking about vaping, which nobody's died from.
It's not Ebola. Sorry, I unplugged the headphones and came over for a sec. But I wanted to say, I was reading, because at my job now, I basically do nothing except for answer questions every now and then. So I have way too much time to research this crap. Basically, the NGA, which is the National Governors Association, if you go and you read the guidelines, everything that has been done is exactly the opposite of what they are allowed to do. They are doing things that are extremely unlawful. And the fact that we're standing up and bringing it to somebody's attention is good, but I hope that they do something about it, because even their, laws for being governors, they are breaking their laws, not only other laws. They're breaking their laws that they stood up there and took oaths to swear in, or whatever they do. I mean, they actually are legitimately doing this for money. And it's really, it's bullshit. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that because I knew he wouldn't.
Yeah, well, that's been released as well, though. The records of who's taken money from big tobacco. I mean, I was watching a documentary on YouTube. I've been spending way too much time on this.
Yeah.
I'm so happy because you were the one that I've wanted to be out there, because I know once you dive head first, everyone better get the fuck out.
I've been watching.
I'm very happy.
Oh yeah, I've been watching swags on Facebook and your stuff that you're throwing out there.
This guy was trying to he was taking shots at Mike Pence, but he was talking about how Pence was a big tobacco guy because he's got money in his pocket and blah blah. And you know what? There's truth to that. And but more than that, we've released that truth, and we're going to continue to do it in a smart way. Look at ad campaigns. Just look at the pending election. Why can't we take from that? We're all media producers here on this panel. There are people out there in the chat right now that create media. All right. And you know how do you have an Instagram account, whatever. We need to have our own ad campaign, but the ad is the truth. And we're not going to be calling ourselves the real truth. We're not going to call ourselves the truth. We're just going to spread the truth with our hashtags, whatever hashtags they may be. They are there, but we can utilize all of these things that have already been created for us, and we can cater those to our own benefit. And we're doing that right now. And that's why you're seeing this fire that we've started reach all the way up top. I mean, Trump's talking about it because they haven't been able to deal with it quietly, without
the number one thing that everybody has to remember, and this is coming from me because I'm in a different community than just the vaping community. I talk to, stay-at-home moms all day, girls who don't pay any attention to anything. They believe everything in the news, which if any of them are watching, please don't hate me. But the thing is you have got to be 100% professional. Everything you write, even, it doesn't matter even if it's on Twitter, you need to sound like the most appropriate person to talk to about this. You have got to sound professional. You have got to keep calm. You've got to keep that anger and those triggers and everything else in check, because otherwise all they're going to see are the tattoos, the beards, the piercings, and they're not going to think shit of you.
Yeah.
You have got to put your best foot forward.
That's the most frustrating thing, because they're coming out with stuff like Corey said, vaping causes an opioid epidemic. How do you in your right mind, like, okay, I'm going to go on there. Sir, I think you're wrong. What these are, you know what I mean? Like, you just want to be like, fuck you, and just shake them to death. You know what I mean?
See, you're fighting against these people who are standing up in suits, talking eloquently.
I know.
You are standing up against some of these people who have got clout just because of how they look initially. That's why when you hear all these things, you want doctors to come out. You want people who have the clout to sit there and say the information that we all know. So you have to make sure that you're speaking eloquently, you're typing without haste, and you're not trying to be an asshat.
Listen, Clownette, I can't shave my beard off because that's the only credibility I have. If I shave this off, I'll look like I'm like 18.
I know.
Like,
I'm not allowed to even trim.
No, but that's the thing, is that this right here does not have to have a presence of I'm a biker who's tattooed and we're. You can have an online presence that is very professional, and it is up to you to keep that. Right. I mean, it's even if you're going to the town hall meetings, everything you're doing, even on like Instagram, here on YouTube, talk eloquently, talk softly, be calm. Because otherwise you're going to
speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah.
Got it.
Actually, we're just going to have to learn how to use the
Terk?
3 seashells like in Demolition Man and be well each other. I mean, this is seriously that ludicrous.
Well, with that being said, I did see we have a couple questions. Dan, did you want to get to those real quick? Thank you, Clownette. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Clownette.
Okay, I love you. Sorry.
You're good.
No worries.
We got a question from Breeze Tones asking Terk, how does the New Jersey ban affect businesses wholesaling, supplying other stateside businesses? And the second part of that question is going to be my question. What becomes of Terk if all this goes through? So kind of like lump it all together.
That's a very good question, but unfortunately, I don't even know, honestly, because I don't know how the law is written. I don't know if they're going to allow us to export still, if they're going to just cut off sales in New Jersey, because I don't actually have a storefront. I just have an office, and most of my sales, they go from the website to everywhere else, but the website's in Vegas, so technically the website wouldn't be affected just yet. That's supposed to change by the end of the year because there's taxes going into effect in Nevada. But all the other states are banning. It's almost looking like the taxes might be the best bet.
Yeah, if they ban outright the possession of it, then like sale, it's like sale in the state, but possession as well. Then yeah, I mean, you could sell out of state, but if you're marketed as a business, if you're an LLC or whatever, then you're infringing. You're basically going to get caught.
My LLC will shut down. Yeah, my LLC will shut down if this goes into effect, which is a shame because I've had it open since the beginning. I just opened the incorporated business the beginning of this year, so it's new. So I'm a little bit upset about that, but I don't know. I mean, I really have a hard time conforming to this. At the same time, like I don't want to stop selling in New Jersey. So if people are still going to be selling like low key, like I'm going to find a way to supply them. Honestly, like I don't
absolutely.
So rude.
On the top level, like for people who aren't in Jersey, right? I mean, who don't have a main line to you or a direct connection to you, it's like you're not gonna have a website. You can't have a website selling shit, and then like for people to know that you're based out of New Jersey.
I'll have a number they could hit. Don't worry.
There you go. All right, cool. I like
that. 1-800 Terk.
I'm ready to go back to it, honestly.
Hey Joe, what do you know? We can have like encrypted like IGTV videos where it brings you down a wormhole to get to that one guy on the street corner that'll lead you to enter.
That's what it's gonna be, baby.
Yeah, buddy, I'm down with that.
Dude, I've said it before. We're gonna start buying e-liquid from a dude with a giant trench coat going like this.
Yeah. And you're gonna go up to him and be like, "You got the stuff?"
Yeah, exactly.
You want fruity?
And how much worse is that going to make it really though than it is now? That's the shittiest part about it.
Yeah.
That's the shittiest part about it is like they're only going to be turning it into a bigger black market.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest problem.
And at that point, nothing's being regulated. compared to now when juices are being sold, especially from legitimate distros and stuff like that, they're all made in ISO labs. You know what I mean?
On one of the groups I'm in, a chick actually wrote her story. She was one of the THC victims or whatever. And when she went to the hospital, they ran her pee for like drugs and stuff. They also found cocaine in her. She had never done cocaine in her life.
That's insane.
People when they say
That says anything.
When they test positive for something, it's like, how the fuck are you gonna say you never done that in your life and you're testing dirty for it? Like, not everybody gets drugged. Like, I understand some people get drugged, but not like that. You know what I mean? Like, she's tested positive for fucking THC. She's definitely tested positive.
That's something we were talking about. Yeah, that's something we were talking about a little bit. I was talking to a gentleman named Logan Exhales. You may know him. I was talking to him in the Discord prior to coming into the show, and we were talking about this. And he was like talking about being progressive and moving forward. And I was like, you know what? People's hearts are in the right places with what they want to do to be progressive, but we're missing a very integral piece of this puzzle here, and it's self-responsibility. We were talking about how like any self-help book or any psychiatrist will tell you, in order to love others, you have to first figure out how to love yourself, right? I don't mean to say that to dismiss it, because it's powerful. I've practiced that myself, like to get over things. But that's basically what we're talking about here is you need to take responsibility over yourself. For parents, that's your kids. Your kids are an extension of you until they're 18 years old. They are yourself. They're your dependent. They are dependent on you. Look up the definition, right? So we need self-responsibility. When we're responsible over ourselves, then we can stop dealing with all these ridiculous stories and all this shit and how we have to listen to Tom, Larry, and Susie every time that they spout off at the mouth because we need to believe them first. Innocent until proven guilty. I'm sorry, but not everything is entitled to headline news, even if it's a part of your damn narrative. Sorry, I'm done preaching again for now.
I love it. I've missed you, Swags. I'm glad you're fired up, dude. It gives me hope and a fighting chance when Swags gets just dives headfirst in.
Because I normally have no blood pressure. Now,
dude.
Now it's just high up all the fucking time.
Right.
I feel you, man. Like I just recently joined the whole Twitter train because like that's something that I've always kind of just steered clear of beforehand. But at this point, like everyone's been saying, it's like it's where we need to be. It's where the most information is going to be spread to the most set of eyes. Because when we're on Instagram, we're pretty much in that echo chamber, guys. We're talking to ourselves at that point. You know what I mean? Because like the way that Instagram works, it puts you in like these little communities because you only get to see what hashtags you follow or the people you follow or that type of thing. And most of us, I don't know about you guys, but everybody that I follow on my Instagram, it's all vape stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, when I post something, majority of the time, the only people that are going to see it are vapors. So what we need to do is get to a platform where there's people that vape, that don't vape, that smoke, that are going to see these studies and see these tweets to these officials and to the Congress people and, you know, these governors and the president, and see that there's so many of us out there that have used this successfully as an alternative to smoking and a smoking cessation product. And that's why the Twitter front is such a big thing, guys. Even though we still need to make sure that we are calling our representatives, like actually physically picking up the phone and calling your local representatives and tell them where you stand. If it's in some way possible to get a meeting with your representative, because from what I hear, I was talking to my buddy AO Vapes. They're supposed to be going to like break here in a few weeks, and at that point would be a great time to try to gather them for like some sort of meeting with maybe a couple of your local business owners and have them talk about how many employees they have and what state taxes they pay each year, so that they're going to see the impact to not only the economy but also the workforce, because now those people are going to be dependent on the state on unemployment because they don't have a job.
Yeah. And shout out to AO, really. He got in touch with me to ask what we pay at our shop. And he's having trouble getting a hold of people. They don't want to talk to him because no one knows him, even though he's trying to put stuff together like Danielle Jones does for everyone with the little graphs and everything. AO would like to do the same thing. So if you guys know any shops and you can get them in touch with AO Vapes. We'll figure. I don't know if we want to put a link. If a moderator can get a link in the description where you can get a hold of him at, DM him through Instagram, something like that. Like, let him know who he needs to talk to, because AO is very smart with his computer and getting this stuff together. And people are visual. If they can look at something and you're getting right to the point, people will look at that over here is 5 pages that you have to read through. You know what I mean? People read like 3.
Make sure to peruse it. There's nothing worse than like reading something and seeing a typo. Don't discredit yourself just as much as you need to wear like a suit and tie, as Christine was saying, or Clownette was saying. You need to also in your writing, like just take a second. Like we tweet so quick. I do it too. And the thing that sucks, I freaking hate it about Twitter, is you can't go back and edit. So you spend all this time writing something and you're like, shit, I misspelled like 3 words. You're like, damn it, this is supposed to sound smart. I quoted a doctor in this one. So just make sure that you're like just proofread it. Proofread what you're posting before you post it. It's an infographic. Anybody can do them. They're free ones. Just type it into Google infographic. You can make one. Just be factually correct, and then be concise. Be creative. Find a way to do it. Send it to us at vapingwiththeohmies@gmail.com. You know, if we have to incentivize it for you and give away something, I got stuff I can give away to you. If you want some free shit, make me something creative and I'll give you some free shit. Make me something that could help us to push towards saving vaping and saving, you know, what we love and what saved us. I'll give you something for free.
Yeah, because I know there's plenty of people out there in the vape community. We all have different talents, guys, and we need to utilize those talents. You know what I mean? There's plenty of us that I'm sure out there that are graphic designers or people that are even maybe be in politics themselves. You know what I mean? So like we all need to come together and use those talents as like a unified group and fight this, this battle that we're in, guys. Because if we come together and we utilize our gifts properly, we can win this, guys, and we could change the minds of people out there. But we have to band together and we have to do it smartly, and we have to be tactful of how we do things. We have to be respectful when we go about, approaching somebody with information and stuff like that. We need to know who our audience is, guys. It's not like we're talking to a bunch of vapors that we could really pretty much say whatever the hell we want. It's not a big deal. We're talking to actual, elected officials here that, you have to come at them right if they're going to even give you the right time of day. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep that in mind as well, guys. So if you guys are in, the area, near the New Jersey hearing, try to make it out there, guys. I'm not sure exactly where it is, Terk, if you can kind of give more of a specific location.
Yeah, it's that simple, guys. It really is.
Trenton, New Jersey. Let me get the rest of the address. I know the address is 369 something South Street.
So yeah, guys, if you're in that area, try to make it out to that hearing if you can in any way. Will
Eric be there? Vinyl and Vapor, Vinny?
I believe he's coming down. It's 369 South Warren Street, Trenton, New Jersey.
You'll see it on either of their socials. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you guys will see it, guys. There's posts everywhere, so definitely follow these guys. They'll be letting you guys know what's going on there, dude. Terk, I'm hoping for the best for you guys out there. I know all of us, we're all kind of spread out throughout the states and even the world because, Aziz out there in Kuwait, but we're with you in spirit, man. So anything we can do to help spread the word in the time being and, send those positive vibes your way, we're definitely going to be doing that. Is there anything you kind of want to, let people know about here? Because we do only have a few more minutes left, but I want to make sure I give you some time.
Tomorrow, with the meeting being from 4 to 7, from what I hear, there's going to be a press conference at 3. So we're trying to get everybody to get out there closer to 2. It's going to be a long day, so maybe pack some food or bring something with you to where you're going to be okay to be there for that many hours, because it's probably, I would imagine it running long. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are registered to speak. They're supposed to be giving us 3 minutes, but they're probably going to cut us down to 2. If you have a long speech, I suggest you making a shortened version of it, just in case they do cut it down to 2 minutes or 1 minute. My speech is super short. I'm not a public speaker by any means, so I don't want to be up there stuttering and making us look any worse than. So I'm gonna try.
They've already made us look, right?
Yeah, really. So yeah, guys.
Chloe's got a real long speech. We practiced them both today. Hers is she had to keep cutting hers down just to get it under the 2 minute mark, but hers is closer to a 3 minute speech. So it seems like they're probably going to cut us down to 2. So like I said, if you have a long speech, just shorten it up, just in case, or have both of them ready to go in your notes, just in case.
Yeah, there you go.
Be prepared.
Exactly. Be prepared. You know, if you have to, read it a few times before you get there. So if you don't have to necessarily look at it and you can just like say it from the heart, it's gonna it'll make it more convincing that way. You know
Everyone's
what I mean?
got a stopwatch on their phone. Set that stopwatch, read your speech, and see where you're at. That way you know where you have to cut it down, or you got extra time I can throw this in. You want to take up, set it for 2 minutes. Just write it 2 minutes, you're done. Thank you, boom.
Yeah, Chloe says I shouldn't even speak. I'm gonna cry. Well, that just shows that you care. You know what I mean? And you're vested in this industry. You know, in multiple ways.
I'm definitely nervous.
It's okay. They
Don't
will
be afraid
have
to show
people
your
there that will
emotion.
cry too on the other side. It's kind of what they do.
But we just
But
got to make sure our voices are heard, guys, because everybody's opinion matters. If you vape and you vote, then your opinion matters, guys. So you got to make sure you can make it there.
You guys will all be good. Just know, like, when you're in that room, even, you're going to be surrounded by your peers, people who agree with you, and just think about all of us who are with you and supporting this, and just know that truth is on your side. There's nothing more validating than knowing that you're on the right side. I don't care. You know, it's like we all like these movies like 300, right? The Spartans, and they fought the Persians, and it was 300 against thousands, right? And we love that underdog story. We're the underdog, man. But we're on the side of what's right. And that is like adrenaline, man. That is a shot in the leg to me. That's a shot in the arm. I spent a while being down on myself and being upset. We all have that. We're human beings. It's okay to be worried. It's okay to be upset. But there's a time for that, and there's a time for action. There's a time right now for getting your stuff prepared. Be upset all you want, but when you have to be up there speaking on behalf of all of us and yourself, just have confidence and be encouraged in the fact that what you're saying means something and it matters. Okay. That's all I got to say.
I had an idea instead of doing juice of the week this week, or were you going to get to that, James?
No, dude. What do you got?
All right. Instead of juice of the week, there was another question.
Absolutely.
We're just going to roll with this and roll it with everyone. Angela Garrity wrote and said, I want to know what Terk and Chloe would fill up their trick or treat bags with. What is their favorite Halloween candy? And let's just do it for everyone. We'll all name off
Dude, that's a hard one, bro.
Just fucking think of one.
It's easy. Butterscotch.
No, it's actually neither of us really. We don't eat Halloween candy. All the candy is pretty much like poisonous, honestly. If you really look into how many chemicals are in that shit, it's like worse than the nicotine that they're trying to take away from us.
Wait a second. We forgot to preface this with Terk is a vegan.
Yes.
He has magic powers. That's what
He has vegan powers.
He can read your minds. Just be careful.
No. Just healthy for the most part, like just chemical free. So like, you know, most Halloween candy is like poisonous. I feel bad even buying it and handing it out to the kids. I mean, I know that they like it obviously, but it's gonna rot their teeth. It's gonna make them sick. You know, it could possibly. That's just not worth it. I almost want to hand them money instead, but
Here's
Dude,
a dollar.
they would be upset with that, bro.
Here's a nickel. Great. What am I gonna buy with that?
It wasn't such a weird time. Like it wasn't such a weird time that we live in. Like when people were able to actually like bake stuff and give kids like Chloe was to make like vegan or like organic like treats or something like that. But you can't hand out baked goods at Halloween. Like nobody's gonna take that shit. They're gonna think it's got poison and drugs in it
or like a razor blade in it or something.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna eat them
we
all up
live
and be
in.
upset there isn't poison or drugs in it. I'll be honest.
So I think what we do is we end up finding like some organic, healthy like lollipops or something like that, and that's what we hand out. It's not like it's vegan, gluten free. It's got no peanuts in it in case kids have allergies. Because that's the other thing. Like kids have allergies.
Yeah.
A lot of kids I feel like have allergies nowadays, and there's a lot of peanuts and a lot of candies and stuff like that. So you don't know what these kids are really getting and whether or not they even know they have these allergies yet, and it could kill them. So sorry to be the dampener on that.
Dude, Terk, man.
Yeah, we should have went to him last because now we're all
It's
gonna
like, you're
suggest
dressed
these
like
candies
Optimus
and we're all
Prime.
killing kids.
Now I feel like a dick for like.
Terk
man.
answers the door dressed like Optimus Prime, right? And he looks all fun and excited and he's like, oh, happy Halloween. And then he just like pulls the mask off and starts giving a spiel about the poisons and like
Honestly,
the
it's a
man
shame,
keeping
too.
you down.
It's a shame too because Halloween is my favorite. It's my favorite holiday. I like it better than Christmas. I like it better than Thanksgiving. I've always liked it better than every other holiday. It's just a shame now that I know what I know after Chloe's done so much research in food because she just, she did a lot of research in food just like she's doing all the research in this shit now, like years ago. And she finds out all these chemicals and toxins and stuff that are in a lot of this stuff. And it's like, why are we going to promote trying to hurt?
Just hand out joints.
So the moral of the story is
adults.
Turk's gonna live to be 125 years old because this
I don't know.
dude
Who
does
knows?
not put any kind of terribleness in his body and makes us all feel bad about ourselves. Thank you,
I
Turk.
like this
Now-
whole time
now I'm-
Chloe is going off
Yes.
about how she loves dark chocolate.
I was just about to say that she's going off
Now
about
I
Justin's
feel-
dark chocolate peanut butter cups.
Oh, those are
I'm
awesome. by
gonna
the way.
feel guilty every time I eat a piece
I
of.
have to tell everybody how
candy.
I feel about nicotine. Though, like nicotine is literally one of the only chemicals that I put in my body. Like I don't even have coffee no more, no caffeine no more. THC and nicotine is literally the only two things that go into my body. Other than that,
Damn
there's
right.
no chemicals I take no more. Everything's organic. Everything's good food and healthy.
It's the way to do it, man. So why don't we, Corey?
Guys.
What would be in your bag, Corey?
It would either be a mix between like milk chocolate stuff / peanut butter stuff and gummy candy. Like if you can give me the,
Do you have
I'm really
brands?
I like the old fashioned gummy lifesavers. That's just like I feel like an old
Like
person.
the
doing-
ones that used to come in like the little plastic tray.
Yeah.
With like the
Those were
How
awesome.
thoughtful, yeah.
Like, or I could just like imagine still going to somebody's house and they just have a giant one they give people. Like like you could buy like the gummy bears. They're like the size of your head. I don't know. That'd be cool to have one of those in my
I
bag.
feel like you wouldn't eat that before it went bad.
yeah.
I'd try.
You make them so sick.
All right,
I mean,
Absolutely.
pass
that'd
it
be
to somebody, Corey.
Let's pass it to Aziz.
I'm more of a sour patch kind of guy, and sometimes gummy bears,
Mm.
but mainly sour patch.
Very nice.
What,
Swagons.
what was it? The Mokuyatsu white gummy? That was a
Oh.
really good juice.
Dude,
Good
that
stuff.
is a legit juice.
That I haven't had that in a minute.
Yeah, 'cause
I bet
sent
you if
it
I
all
went back
me.
to it, I'd be like, yeah, I did. I'd be like, I'm all set. But that stuff was good. I'm a Sour Patches kid as well, man. I love Sour Patch Children because I'm an adult and I like flavors: Liberty, Freedom, Bald Eagles, and Justice.
all that stuff.
And I'm gonna pass it off to who's left.
Clown, Dan.
Oh,
me.
okay, Clown. I'm gonna go back to Clown again. Clown's my go-to today.
Oh, okay, yeah. Peanut butter cups or peanut M&Ms. I'm a
Favorite. When I was
Chocolate and peanut butter
The
or peanuts.
M&Ms. Oh man.
all of that.
I'll go. I'm a sucker for an almond joy. I don't know why. I love the coconut. I
Dude.
love the milk chocolate. I love the almond. Give
Bro,
give
and
me
you
it
would
all.
get along, bro, because you get
All
all,
for you,
of
bro.
my almond joys.
Oh
bro.
my God.
All of the mounds, anything with coconut, bro, would be all yours, dude. I do not
Nicole
do
likes them
coconut.
as well, so we end up fighting around Halloween time when
Ooh,
Rowan
mine would
brings
be
his
tough, bro.
trick or treat bag back. I'm like, all right, there's 4 in here. We each get 2. Deal.
Just
All right,
give
and then
me
we go
that-
sit in the corner and just eat. I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, just give me that big mixed bag of like the Wonka candy that's got like the nerds, like the gobstoppers, the runts.
Dude,
all
I'm
that.
telling
Just
ya.
give me that, bro, and I'm good.
Now that our Canadian friends have brought me Canadian chocolate, I think I need to like. They probably don't even have Halloween, but I'm gonna go up there and just try and.
They don't have Halloween
They
in
don't have
Canada.
Halloween in Canada.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm still gonna go on the 31st
Is it
and be
because
like, "You
they're
got
celebrating
candy?"
the flying moose.
Canadian candy's way better than ours. Just
Dude, their
Just
chocolate.
Dude,
saying.
is
English
delicious.
candy's good too. Their chocolate.
It's not as
Oh.
processed, probably.
Dude, I heard that Mexican candy is kind of spicy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Everything comes with chili in it, dude.
yeah.
Everything.
Oh, really?
You
Chili
ever had,
powder.
ever had a mole sauce?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
that's
yeah,
Chocolate
dude.
and heat, bud. That's good.
there's
delicious.
that weird thing that you push up and it like makes hair for the little doll, but it's just nothing but chili powder in a paste form.
James,
Looks
what
like a mango flavoring.
James, what would you have in your bag?
I just said just that big mixed bag of like the Wonka
Okay.
candy, bro. Like with like the nerds, like the gobstoppers.
That's so
Laffy
general.
Taffy.
Okay.
That's
All
me,
right.
bro. That's me, dude.
I got you. That's
So,
a good assortment.
Yeah, that is a pretty good assortment. I would agree.
Rick
I would
Mahoney
agree.
says, "You guys know they sell candy year round.
Yeah, we know, dude. Trust me, I know.
Yeah,
you don't
but
get it
when
for free year round.
You get it on a discount after Halloween's over. I'm gonna go down to the Walgreens down
Yeah,
the
dude,
street.
you gotta stock
and
up on the
buy
shed time
a bag
snacks,
of that.
bro.
Because you know what? There's nothing worse than your mouth being all dry for reasons unknown to you, other than the fact that you may have just vaped something that made your mouth all dry. And Sour Patch Kids are the instant
Yeah, dude.
saliva creator.
Hashtag shed time snacks.
I don't know what chemicals are in there, but I like the fact that it makes me mouth all
Hashtag
watery.
saliva creator.
So, Dan, it's that time, bro. We can't leave the people without a dad joke, dude. So it's that time, guys. Time for Dan's dad joke of the week. Hit him with it, bro.
All right. So I got an eye exam next week. I think I'm going to cancel it till next year, because then it'll be 2020.
Oh, shit.
What's up?
Oh, my God, dude. Why do we continue to give you these dad joke segments, bro?
Because it makes me happy. And it makes other people happy sometimes.
Well,
That was clever.
With that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and wind it out here. Of course, I do want to thank Terk again for joining us, bro. Can't thank you enough. Of course, we do want to have you on again in the future when we can maybe talk more about what's going on with you other than the band. But, of course, we want to let people know that you're going to be there and what you have planned and show that, there are people that are actually going to be there, guys. So if you're in the area, make it out there because it's going to matter, guys. Definitely do that. So stay tuned for that. You can follow him over there on his social media. I'm sure you guys will be seeing stories and stuff about the day as it happens. Yeah, what's up, Dan?
We never shouted out sponsors, please.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
At the beginning, but we can do it again if you want.
My bad. No, you go right ahead. You got this.
All
You're
right,
my man, when it comes to sponsorships.
So yeah, guys, we will shout them out one more time. Shout outs to OPMH, of course, the OPMH project. Check them out. The Fountain, Watson, and Real Deal Custards, 3 of their lines that are really delicious. Also, if you guys are in wholesale, I know it's really kind of a toss-up limbo right now, guys, but you guys can check them out, opmhproject.com. Of course, check out IVC if you guys are in the area, Roseville, Michigan. Head down to headquarters. Go see Mr. Dan O'Mylanta down there. Go buy some juice. Go help support them, guys, because they're great people that are actually definitely very, advocacy based. They definitely letting people know. Of course, we got Dan himself behind the counters, letting people know about stuff as it's happening. So big shout outs to them. And you guys can definitely go show them some love over there. With all that being said, guys, you can go catch us all on our various social medias over there on Instagrams. You can check out Corey on Wednesday over on the Poon Sauce McNasty channel for What's in the News with Mr. Poon Sauce and, of course, Sean Typhon. You can catch Clown over on the Clown Vapes channel doing vlogs, reviews, all that good stuff. You can check out the Wolf Bite podcast as well. They're doing those live, which is pretty awesome. I checked that out this Sunday. Great show. Of course, you can catch Swaggins over there on, the Vape Stew. Possibly never heard of them. And, of course, check out his channel as well because he has been putting up some pretty cool little, condensed videos for you guys that are easy to share around and stuff like that, easy to digest. So big shout-outs to him. Of course, check out Aziz as well over on IG. And I think you got maybe a little bit of a dry hit.
Yeah.
Because, dude, you turned about as red as your background real quick.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
thought.
Okay, cool. Well, with that being said,
He just needed to match his background for a quick minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What happens when you don't breathe?
Yep.
Super Saiyan 4.
So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to end it as we always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp high fives, and as always, let's just vape on, Ohmies.
I'm re-dripping.